At this point, I've started recording. Who wants to cut the intro? I've been doing all the intros lately.
Okay, whatever. I'm not doing it.
Well, you could have told me that you wanted to.
Well, there was a pause, so I jumped at it, and then you interrupted it, so it's whatever.
I'll do it, I guess.
Go for it.
Hello, everyone. It is Shoot the Shit Saturday. Obviously 2003. I'm here with Ringleader 064.
What the
hell? Nippy.
Brought to you by some kids' music from my children. I am your hostess with the mostest, Valkyrie Grinder. Sorry about that.
Kids bop.
Yeah.
Some dog piano, honestly. We just bought it from today and they love it.
Awesome. So yes, as you heard, Val is here with also Ringleader 064.
Howdy.
Last but not least, Espionage DB7.
Yes. Do the monster mash with me.
The monster mash.
I've had the monster mash on the brain. I was working in the lab late one night, and I told Obsolete to settle down.
That doesn't even rhyme.
I did.
Don't quit your day job.
Anyway.
Yes. This is our Shoot the Shit Saturday. Go ahead.
I think we got a lot to talk about, but I want to jump right into this fucker right here with a new segment of things S hates. Because I got one that just fucking boiled my blood, and I want to talk about it. So, things S hates. This week, I fucking hate those live streamers that, you know, go onto the streets and their whole fucking shtick is harassment of people, calling people names, insulting them, trying to bully them, or it's just a prank bro them, you know, fucking pulling their chairs out from under them, tripping them and running, all kinds of little bullshit that they do, or where they have that little speaker that when people donate to them, it fucking says whatever the hell they want and it does bomb threats and shit like that. I absolutely hate your guts, people. Who, if you're one that does that, I have no qualm, no equivocation in letting you know that I fucking hate your guts. Now, if you go around live streaming the city and just looking and, you know, documenting an adventure, that's fine. That's great. Interacting with people, you know, talking to people, whatever, that's great. But if you're one of these that sinks to the low of insulting, berating, degrading, disparaging, or however else causing problems for the general populace, I hate you. And the reason that I'm bringing this up is because I saw one, actually two videos from this one same guy. I'm not even gonna say his name. I didn't care to learn his name. Fuck him. I hope that the authorities catch up with him and he spends at least a good chunk of his life in jail. So in one of the videos, the lesser of the two infuriating ones, and this one is still fucking infuriating. He's talking to some random guy who's just like chilling out on a street corner. He's chilling out, having a cigarette, and he's just asking this dude like a bunch of random stupid questions, like, "Hey, what are you doing? Where are you from?" And the guy just like, he's not like telling him to shut up or anything, but he doesn't seem like he wants to talk, and he's like, just, you know, nothing, man. What do you want? What are you doing here? And the fucking troglodyte protozoan followers that he has are just as bad as him, because they know his shtick, that he carries around a stick of mace, a stick of fucking pepper spray with him, and he likes to pepper spray people and run. You might have seen him because he's got videos out there, and like everybody in the chat is egging him on. They're like, mace him, do it, mace him and run. And sure enough, after a few minutes of just, you know, bothering the guy, harassing him, he pops out the little fucking canister of pepper spray, maces him in the face and runs, leaving the guy behind screaming and yelling and, you know, just in a fit of pain while he takes off. So
a form of assault.
It is, and he's documenting his freaking crimes, but I don't know if he's behind bars yet or not. But I mean, I've been seeing this guy do a few of these different videos. The one that is more infuriating, I'll tell you, there is one that's even more infuriating. So he actually, the second video that I saw, same fucking guy, is following a black man around. again, harassing him, bothering him, asking him all kinds of questions, yelling at him, and then he gets into racial slurs and stuff, because of course he does. The guy that he's following wants nothing to do with him, right? Until eventually it's like, after like fucking a few hundred yards, the guy turns around, he's like, what do you want? Leave me alone. When he turns around, the guy maces him as per his fucking original, like I said, shtick. He maces him and runs. But the worst part of this one is that the gentleman that he maced takes off after him, wanting to beat his ass, which obviously, rightfully so. The guy runs into a CVS or a Walgreens or something, and he starts yelling that there's a black man chasing him with a gun, threatening to kill him, to call the police. The guy's literally trying to get, the police to arrive in obviously a controversial climate, and he's calling a gun to the scene and saying that the gentleman is threatening him with a gun, chasing him, yelling at him, and sure enough the guy runs in. So immediately he's stopped by the personnel at the CVS. He's wiping his eyes and stuff, and then he starts telling his side of the story, but people seem to start kind of siding with the other guy. And at that point the video cuts off. I watched both of these videos on Reddit, and I was looking through the comments trying to find whether or not this guy has faced any kind of consequences or anything. Up until this point, I have not seen anything like that, but it just boiled my blood, especially knowing that he basically tried to get this man killed. He tried to get this man killed. There's no other way to slice it other than he tried to get this man killed, and I fucking hate his guts.
So he's like Jake Paul or whatever, just doing a bunch of shit.
I hate them.
I've seen those. I know one YouTuber got killed because he did shit like this.
Is that the one that ran up to a family with a knife in the parking lot, and the dude was packing a gun and shot him?
He was concealed carrying. Yeah.
Yeah. I heard about that one. Yeah, I hate these fucking idiots, man.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen pranks I've seen other pranks. One prank that I saw, it's a little raunchy, but it's not bad. Like, there's two guys, right? One of them is walking towards, like, let's say that there's an attractive girl that they pick out. One guy's walking towards this attractive girl, and he blurts out, hey, nice rack. And she's like, excuse me? And he shrugs at her like, what? And he looks, to the guy behind him, and the guy's carrying like a fucking a rack of like a spice rack or some kind of actual literal rack. And then she turns around, she's like all embarrassed, like, oh my god, I thought he was talking about my boobs and whatnot. And they do that to other people for random things. I can't remember.
Nice melons or something.
Nice melons, kind of. Family Guy had done that, stuff like that. And there's literally a guy behind them that has melons or something. At one point he goes, I'd like a lick of that or something like that. And she gets all offended, and then behind him there's like a guy with popsicles or shit like that. So those kind of pranks, those are fine. I mean, they interact with people, but unless you got really thin skin, I don't think they're gonna generally cause any kind of controversy or any major fucking problems. But people who just go around who are just so fucking devoid of a cranium, of higher brain function, and their only way of getting watchers and viewers and stuff like that is by committing these egregious acts. Fuck you wholeheartedly. I hate you, and I hate the womb that spawned you.
Wow, that was a little wrong. Why would you hate for someone for?
I didn't say I hated the mother. I didn't say I hate.
That is by proxy their mother.
No. I hate the ovarian functions that created this fucking person.
Not the mother.
No, I don't. No. Okay, not the mother. Shut up.
Then don't say that.
Now you listen. You of all people need to settle down. All right.
No, I'm not.
But you get what I'm saying. It's a figure of speech, Ring. Come on, shut up.
Terrible figure of speech. Jeez. Ugh. But yes. Excuse me. Those YouTubers are
cancer. They're fucking cancer.
So I understand.
So that was that. That's this week in things that's Pates.
So to capitalize on that, I was discussing something here with these lovely people before we started the stream, but got rudely interrupted.
By who?
By me. So today apparently Alec Baldwin had accidentally shot the director of cinematography for a production called Rust, which is not related to the name, by the way. It's like a Western. And she and also someone else, the cameraman, had suffered injury from this gunshot, and she had later died. It was what was her name? Helena something. Anyways, kind of sucks because of what happened, but there was immediately suspicion that, you know, something was afoot. At first, people were pointing out that maybe it was the armorer who was responsible for the prop gun. But they actually later determined that the gun actually had a live cartridge in the chamber, in the magazine. So there's a couple of thoughts on what may be behind this, but I appear that unlike the Brandon Lee situation, this may be malicious. First off, like I said, they found a live the gun did have a live round in it, which is not supposed to happen. It's supposed to have blank rounds, but even then, that's a danger. Two, earlier in the day, union workers walked off the sets, and thus the production immediately hired a bunch of locals who were not, of course, not union and blah blah blah. I'm not into that. Which means you had a bunch of newbies on the set just handling things. Now, here's my thought process. An accident like that will automatically just kill a production, okay? And that can result in a loss of cash. You know, money to the investment in the film, yada, yada, yada.
Well, it didn't kill The Crow when it happened to Brandon Lee. Had they already...
Except that was at the end of the movie. This is still early in production.
Good point.
Mic off.
So, it could be an effort by some party to sabotage the production in order to prove a point about the union workers and stuff like that. And it may be, it's possible that whoever did it also may have the intention of spooking people. You know, because you see a live cartridge, you say, oh shit, this is a real one, you know? But Alec Baldwin does not know shit about guns, so that's a highly unlikely scenario. It is still, however. The investigation is still ongoing. There were a lot of rumors running around, but the news sources did confirm that it was a live round and that there was labor disputes that day on the set.
Here's the thing that irks me and that I don't understand. So I understand that, you know, it was assumed it was a prop gun, did not know that there was a live chamber in it, but supposedly the person that got killed was some kind of like producer or something, right?
He was a director of cinematography, yes.
Director of cinematography. So it's not like they're acting out a scene. The director's not going to be in there acting out a scene, having Alec Baldwin hold this gun up and shooting them. So how did it happen? How did Alec Baldwin end up pointing a gun at this director of cinematography and getting shot? Like, what scenario unfolded to cause that? Why was Alec Baldwin pointing and shooting, even if it's a prop gun? Was he just playing around? You know, it's like haha, look, boom.
There was also reports that they're having several misfires, and that was the reason why there was concern for safety. And both times were done by Alec Baldwin. So
also they had to have some form of gun training, because I'm reading an article now about Jensen Ackles. They were recording when he was on set or going through his role or whatever with I guess they call it an armorer.
Yes, that's the term.
So they were asking him if he had any gun experience. His response was just a little. And the person he was talking to was like, okay, this is how you load it, this is how we check it and make sure it's safe. He has yet to, according from what I'm reading, he has yet to make a response about this at all.
Mic off.
To the public, or, you know, anything else involving Alec. But So they have to have
something.
Like he was just, according to this article, he was just described on how to handle the weapon. Now, whether it was proper, that I don't know. Like
there was a lot of things. Just
the way I consider proper training is what like Keanu Reeves did for John Wick. Like he actually went to the courses. He knows about proper gun control. I'm not saying that.
Well, I mean, Alec,
you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
Alec Baldwin on the other hand, he's 10 on the crazy side.
Now, I will say that Alec Baldwin is very much a very well known anti-gun activist. I use that word very loosely because Alec Baldwin really isn't shit. So that, on top of that, just it makes it scream, you know, like what the fuck is going on here with this whole situation. Now, here's my thought, because that armor thing is a very big factor, which then goes back on the production of the labor dispute, which, by the way, Baldwin is a director. He's responsible for the whole production. So by proxy, he did pull the trigger, and he did be part of the disputes with the labor on the set. He's responsible for everything that happens on that set, in one form or another.
But you know, if he wants to get a production of a movie pushed through, I seriously thought shooting somebody is the way to do it.
Right, but Alec Baldwin's an idiot, though.
That's neither here nor there for me. I don't know how, you know, of Alec Baldwin's intellectual capacity, so I won't comment on that. I will say that it just, again, that it is very strange considering the fact that it wasn't another actor that got killed. It would be a lot more understandable if it was an actor, because maybe they were having like a, you know, like a guns drawn scene or a shootout scene or something, and you know, a blank, something that was assumed to be a blank was actually a live round. You know, accident happened, got shot, got killed. That's terrible. But again, with and supposedly you had said that it was already after like everybody had left for the day, or production had wrapped up for that day or something. Is that correct?
I didn't specify that.
I thought I heard.
No, it's true. And also there are people like employees like who were working on a set. They kept leaving the set because
okay, that's what I heard.
It was getting too dangerous, or it was just people were getting harmed. Like it was just getting too much. So, but even then, like with if he was supposed to be holding the weapon or not, why would you be pointing at anybody?
A director, you know.
Yeah, like prop or not prop.
Well, I guess it could be
somebody if you're. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say. Now that I think about it, it's feasible, because if it's a director of cinematography, chances are they're behind the camera. So chances are that they were filming a face-on scene, like Baldwin directly facing the camera with him pointing the gun in the direction of the camera, as in, you know, kind of like looking towards the audience, pulled the trigger, and the cinematography director was behind the camera in that general area, got shot. So I guess it's feasible. Still very weird. I guess we'll just have to wait and see as the, you know, details come out. But yeah, definitely a very weird situation. Thoughts and prayers obviously go out to the family of the person that, you know, that got killed. Sadly, I heard about it, but I hadn't looked into it, so I sadly, forgive me, I don't know the name of the director that was killed. Was it a he or she?
It's a female. She was like in her early 40s.
Well, may she rest in peace. May she rest in peace, and may her family find some sort of comfort from the grieving. That's the last I'll say on that.
Oh, by the way, years ago, Alec Baldwin actually had made a tweet saying, "I wonder how it must feel to wrongly kill someone."
Oh.
That is an actual tweet on record.
So here's the fucked up thing. I don't even know if I should say this. So it's kind of almost in a way become a slogan of mine. There was about a year ago now, I made a random fucking joking comment. I want to make it very clear. 100% joke. But I said, listen here, you want to die in response to something. I don't remember what. Val had said something.
You said it to me, sir.
Yes, does it matter who I said it to? But anyway, so it's kind of become a running gag, and I say it jokingly. I want to expressly, emphasize jokingly. I have no ill will nor intention of causing any kind of bodily harm to anybody in this group or anywhere else for that matter. But anyway, I've said that. Listen here, you want to die. If it ever turns out that I'm fucking in the future, again, not saying it'll happen, but I'm the suspect in a murder, that's the first thing that's going to come out. They're going to be like, well, you know what? He did used to threaten to kill people. He did used to always say, hey, you want to die? Well, I guess he met somebody who answered yes.
Maybe that followed by your moans. Like, oh, he sounded very excited.
What the fuck?
This is one reason why you don't say that jokingly, because it can always be used against you.
And a quarter block.
Yes.
But you guys...
It can actually be used against you by court law by a third party, because it could be a state actor saying, well, we have this on record from your own streams, you saying that. And it could be corresponded as correlating evidence. I
know, but you guys, I know for a fact, you guys are all my friends, and you know me. Many of you have known me.
Our followers and those who watch your stuff may not know.
No, I'm not talking about followers or anybody. I'm talking about you three in here. Many of you have known me for more than 2 decades. Obviously, we've known each other most of our lives. You guys would have my back because you guys know that I would never, ever do anything like that, right? And you all would testify in court that I would never, as a material witness to my character, you guys would obviously say that I would never do anything like that, right? That I'm not capable of that, right?
Character witnesses?
I'm saying just hypothetically, just yes or no, right?
I plead the fifth.
No, just yes, right?
No habla espi.
Wow. Now I know where... Alright, listen here, audience. Don't ever trust your friends, because they'll stab you in the back.
Wow.
Well, what the hell is this?
Goes around openly threatening to kill us.
I'm not threatening to kill anybody. It is a, and it's not even a threat. It's just I'm asking a question like it's like a hypo. No. It's like a hypothetical. Like, hey, do you want to die? Maybe I'm trying to find out if my friends are suicidal or something, so I can help them. Has that thought ever crossed your mind? I'm not threatening death. I'm asking.
I want to make that clear. When you had told me that wasn't a question. That reference of my mental health.
I said, listen here. You want to die? That's a question. Like, do you want to die?
That is an actual directed threat, and it can be used against you.
It's not a threat.
It can be. It's not us to determine.
Well, why don't you just fucking call 911 and tell them I'm the one that killed Ashley Petito? Just fucking.
Let me do that right now. Hold up right here.
I'm gonna get swatted.
Continue.
Moving on.
Y'all would have my back, right? Come on, seriously.
Oh, yes, just.
Right, Hobbs?
Yes, I already said yes.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Okay. I'm not a killer.
No one said you were.
You always find a way to put yourselves in these situations.
I guess. What's next? Is it the main topic now? Or something else?
What is the main topic? Oh, Halloween Kills?
Yeah. I'm gonna review.
Sure, why not?
So today, tonight.
What the fuck?
Tonight. Tonight, we are reviewing.
Tonight.
Halloween Kills. And I actually got a bit to say about this movie. I took some notes, but before I get into my what will probably be a bit of a lengthy spiel, I'll let everybody else go first. Val and Obs, I'm actually very curious to hear what y'all had to say, since I know y'all are big horror buffs, much bigger than I am. I do like horror movies, but I'm not as much into horror as you guys are, so I do want to hear what you guys have to say about it.
So I'll let you go first.
It was entertaining.
And that's a review, folks. I mean,
I was like, is that it? Well, I'm probably gonna be the one with the most unpopular opinion.
Don't be so sure. So why don't we start off by saying spoilers ahead. So if you haven't seen Halloween Kills, You might want to tune out for.
It's Halloween Kills. It's whatever. It's a one-time off movie to watch, and that's it.
Well, regardless, spoilers ahead. So starting now, there's spoilers. So why don't we give a bit of a synopsis to the film? Does anybody want to go through and give a synopsis, or should I?
I mean, I don't mind saying my opinions of it.
Well, I'll try, but I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention during that first half.
Go ahead, give it your.
Okay, so this is this is from the perspective of someone who is not a fan of scary movies. Okay, and I do not like cheap, scary slasher flicks because often they're fucking pointless. And even though they're supposedly in the spirit of the season, there's no consistency. No, whatever. There's constant reboots. So movies like with Michael, Jason, and all that, they're all fucking terrible. That being said, I was upset with this film for a different reason. Now, I understand it is Michael somehow came back. Winona Ryder was in the hospital along with some dude. I didn't know who the fuck it was. And apparently...
Winona Ryder? Did you just really say that?
Whoever the fuck it was, I don't care. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis!
Winona Ryder!
That's all
He's got the crucible in the brain, that's why.
Okay, so Jamie's like, he's here to finish the job, so I have to fight him, and she's like having problems in the hospital the entire fucking movie. Meanwhile, Michael is,
God!
Shut up! Michael is...
Pick one! Pick
Michael
one!
is traversing through the streets, making his way home, killing anybody in his way. Stupid fucking idea, but whatever. And the people of the neighborhood are all like, Michael's back. What do we do? What do we do? They're flipping their shit whole fucking time. And while this is happening, he kills a gay couple. He kills a bunch of people in a van, except for one chick. I think he kills kids too, probably more than likely. And eventually, the crowd is riled up to where paranoia and fear takes hold, and they start suspecting like this one dude had nothing to do with it. Like he was from a psych ward, was being transported, and everybody thought he was Michael, even though he was there and Michael was killing people elsewhere. So that makes no fucking sense.
May I?
No, I'm on a roll here. Okay. So eventually, Michael finds his way home. That's where he kills the gay couple, right? And then Jamie Lee, we gotta go take care of him. But she can't go to work because she's fucked because of her disease or damage or something like that. I don't know what it was.
A disease?
I don't know. I don't know about. Anyways, so eventually, the daughter and some other people gather up. The daughter gets to the house first. The granddaughter and her dude, along with the dude's father, end up at the house, and of course, Michael kills both the boyfriend and the dude's dad. Typical shit. And then the granddaughter gets like her leg broke or some shit. And then Michael gets countered by the daughter of Jamie Lee Curtis, which then leads him out. And then I think he just led to a crowd at some point. And the crowd, this is the swift fucking part of the movie. This is fucking dumb because you know what? The whole point of these films is supposed to be this big scary theme, but the people are fucking dumb as shit, okay? Like, pants on head retarded. I don't care.
Pants on head
They go
retarded.
and beat the shit out of this fucking dude, alright? And they shoot him in the head. And they fucking stop. Knowing full fucking well the dude comes back. Alright?
Well, not only that, but they attack one by one.
Yeah. So, he's down. The other's like, yeah, it's over, yeah. Woo. And then he fucking zets up and just kills everybody in the fucking row. And everybody gets into his fucking face to shoot his ass. You don't fucking do that. Like point blank range. What the fuck?
Well, if they're far away, they miss.
What kind of fucking writing is this shit? This shit belongs back in the 1950s, not in the fucking modern horror film. This kind of shit makes it not even fucking scary. It just makes it like, oh wow, they're dying. Wow, they fucked up. Whatever. Okay, but oh wow, that shit dies. Net broken. Oh look, his eyes got broken. Ah, it's not. It doesn't impress me. It doesn't scare me at that point. I'm like, what the fuck? Because I don't like scary movies. They hit me a certain way. But I'm sitting here watch this a supposedly scary film, going, what the fuck is this garbage? Okay. And eventually, Michael, for some reason, kills the daughter, even though she's technically the innocent one of the whole group. But even though she probably lost her innocence when she, stabbed him, but whatever. And that's it. Like, and then at the end, fucking Jamie Lee Curtis is like, he will always come back. He will always return. I'm like, oh, great. So basically, you just jury-rig the fucking shitty-ass ending because you don't actually know how to properly write him out. Write this out correctly to where he's somehow defeated in a way which is believable. No, you have to make everybody fucking retarded. The movie's like a goddamn 1 out of 10. I'm done. Bye.
Okay, so we got Ring. We know how Ring feels about it. May I give my thoughts on it now?
Oh, still needs to go.
Huh?
Who else needs to go?
Who? Val.
You literally just said Ring and Val, and now you're just. Am I even here? Am I even part of Odds and Ends Gaming anymore?
Wow. Go ahead. I'm not. If I didn't care, that's why I wouldn't have stopped and asked. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'll go last. I'm used to it.
Oh my god.
No, really. Go ahead.
Seriously?
Oh my fucking god. Yeah, please go.
All right. So here's the real synopsis. Basically, the movie opens up with a police officer, one of the original officers from the 1970s film, because apparently this movie skipped over, the Rob Zombie films. It skipped over. I think it leaves off where after Halloween 2, maybe. But basically, it skips over all the other Halloween stuff. Does a lot of callbacks. But basically, in the previous film, Laurie had set up a whole bunch of traps, had turned her house into some sort of death fortress, left Michael to die there, which we thought he did. Laurie, along with her daughter and granddaughter, are wounded, hurt, and in dire need of medical attention, so they're rushed to the hospital. Meanwhile, fire department is sent out to put out the blaze at Laurie's house, Laurie's fortress. Unbeknownst to them, a still alive and still very fucking dangerous or murderous Michael Myers is below the in the basement of the house. Starts just slaughtering, like straight up slaughtering these firefighters. I thought that was a very cool scene, actually. I really liked how the firefighters actually stood up and tried to take him on, only to get slaughtered themselves. But anyway, so once he's free from there, he kills the firefighters, he goes on his usual rampage. At this point, we cut to a guy, I think his name was Tommy, in a bar, who's kind of talking about the history of Haddonfield. Talking about
they have some of the original characters from the very first Halloween here. So, Tommy, and the little girl that Laurie's friend was watching, they're both in this movie along with the nurse that was in the original movie as well.
And there's also some random little kid who apparently tripped and was almost killed by Michael, but didn't, but he's in that too. But at any rate, so this guy, I'd call him the central character because he's the one that the movie kind of focuses on the most. He kind of starts talking about, everything that is going on. Now, yes, again, to recap, Michael Myers basically goes on a killing spree. When it's found out that Michael Myers is still alive, free, and terrorizing the town, they all start getting into these little militia groups or these little gangs to try and go hunt him down. And it goes about as well as you expect. These are civilians, non-military training, non-police training, just fucking people that are like, yeah, let's go kill this unstoppable killing machine that's known to come back from the dead and known to fucking take bullets dead on. I mean, hell, in Halloween 2, he took one bullet to each eye and was still swinging. He was just blinded. So, I mean, yeah, it's like, it's dumb. But anyway, so they go off in their little groups. And yeah, as Ring said, one by one, they start getting killed off. Now, Ring didn't seem to have much fondness for this movie. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun movie. But there are flaws and there are problems with it. So I want to go over two things that really stuck out to me. One good, one bad. Now I'll start with the good. The first good thing that I liked about this movie is that they made Michael Myers a non-humanized character, which I think he should be. I recently watched, just for juxtaposition, I watched the 2007 Rob Zombie directed Michael Myers film. I enjoyed that one too, but I did not like how he portrayed Michael Myers. You know, making him the product of a broken home and bullying and, you know, all this shit that's going on at home. It turned him into like a serial killer, you know. It's a product of his environment. I guess it kind of, in a way, it makes you kind of sympathize with him a little bit. But the way that I see Michael Myers is more in the lines of like the Terminator, like the T-800 from the original Terminator or the T-1000 from Terminator 2. These are two robotic killing machines whose only mission, only goal, only objective is to kill who they're meant to kill. With Michael Myers, that spectrum is a lot broader because he just kills whoever's in his way. But I liked how in the original Halloween, after he committed the murders as a child, they ripped his mask off and he's just got this blank stare. You know, and then Loomis had said some comment like, you know, I looked into his eyes and I saw nothing but evil in the darkness staring back at me, or something along those lines. So I like how he's not humanized in the original movies, and I think that they did a great job of that in this one, because he never shows any kind of emotion, he never shows any kind of stop. You know, he takes no pause, takes no quarter. I really enjoyed this version of Michael Myers. So he's one character who does not benefit from character development, because not all characters need character development. Or I guess in a way you could say that his psychosis and his, you know, silence is his character development. It makes him this emotionless killing machine, and I think it's great. So that's a good thing. I really like that. The thing I did not like, and the writers, I will agree with Ring on this, the writers were like, what the, I don't know what the fuck they were doing in as far as actually a storytelling premise goes, because this movie had absolutely no grounding. There was no anchor, and what I mean by that is that there was no central character to follow. This movie, this story, while enjoyable, it jumped around all over the place. It started with the officer bleeding to death, to Laurie, you know, going to the hospital, to the kid and his girlfriend, you know, Laurie's granddaughter, you know, all this kind of stuff. It jumped all over the place, and there was like just no grounding. There was, you couldn't. It seemed like the movie could really get a start. It even flashed back to the original story of the 1970s. You know, a movie is supposed to give you a central character because that's someone, that's the anchor, that's who the audience sees things through their eyes. And by flinging people around from one point of view to another, it makes it feel like the movie never gets fully started. Now, there are certain movies that can jump from one perspective to another, but they're still grounded in one. I'll give you an example. The Ocean's films, you know, Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 13. We get perspectives from all characters.
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
What? Oh, yeah.
They always say, you son of a bitch.
I'm in. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know what, yes. Anyway, so it jumps around from one perspective to another, but Danny Ocean is still the main character. And we can go even deeper than that to a much bigger franchise and a much more recent one. Look at the Avengers films. Now, the Avengers films jumps from all sorts of perspectives. Infinity War, especially Infinity War, since there's characters all over the place. And then, you know, to a lesser extent, Endgame. But we still focus on a group of protagonists as a collective. So, I mean, the movie doesn't switch around and show us what the hell's happening with Valkyrie, or doesn't show us what's going on, you know, on Titan when they're summoned back. It focuses on the Avengers themselves, who the Avengers themselves are the central protagonists as a collective. So that's one thing. It still keeps you grounded, because even though you're focusing on multiple characters, you know which characters you're focusing on. It's linear and in a concise fashion without jumping all around. You know, it's fairly organized, and it shows the primary goal of the protagonist, you know, without going all over the place. The biggest gaping problem with Halloween Kills starts right off the bat. It was a huge disappointment, and it was just a huge mislead, and that is the officer character. When the movie opens up the officer character holding his gashing wound with this, when this kid finds him, take him to a hospital, but before that he says, you know, Michael Myers, I'm gonna be the one that kills him. So right off the bat, the movie gives you this boom, this is our central character. It's gonna deal with this officer and his journey in taking down or trying to take down Michael Myers. That's the feeling you get. And then what happens? It switches from him to Laurie riding in the back of the truck to the hospital, and they say, okay, so that character is going to be a supporting character, is just setting up. Laurie is going to be the main character. And like Ring said, she doesn't do shit. She spends majority of the movie, if not almost, majority of the movie in the hospital, just talking to people, which is fine. Maybe this movie was supposed to be a passing of the torch. So it shows her daughter, shows her granddaughter.
It's like they had the writer changes multiple times throughout the entire film, just like a certain Mass Effect game that we know.
Yes, but you never get a concise idea of who we're supposed to be rooting for. Remember, the audience.
Can I say something?
Yeah, by all means.
Okay, what is it when you're getting stabbed or beat? Well, stabbed for example, when staring in the fucking out the window, turned around and she's getting knifed. Why everybody in that fucking movie just stood there and took it? Like, they never, they fought, yes, but if I'm getting stabbed, I'm going to be doing what I can to either protect myself. I get it, it's Michael Myers. I'm just, why? Okay.
Run, right? Like, fucking run.
Why do they not do that? Okay, anyways, please continue.
There's, like I said, I enjoyed it. It was an enjoyable movie, but there's huge flaws with it. And that was the one that bothered me the most. It just went all over the place. And then after Laurie, after her granddaughter, then, like I said, I think his name was Tommy. Bald guy with the baseball bat. He's the one, you kind of figure, okay, this looks like the character that we're getting behind. He's the one that the movie's going to focus on, because he definitely seems to be the most vocal of all the characters in the movie. He starts rallying people. He gets the baseball bat. He seems to be assertive. He's in control. He's brave. He's ready to confront Myers. You know, he thinks he's in a car, so he's like...
I remember both you and Obbs like, yeah, like, come on, dude, but from the bat, do shit. You know, that one dude?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, and then nothing happens. Like,
exactly. The movie keeps putting up all these setups, setting up all of these little things, putting all these pawns in place, and none of them have any return. You know, they don't have any payoff. You know, it's like Laurie didn't really pass the torch on to the next generation. In fact, her next generation was pretty much killed. The officer was brought into the hospital and just spent the movie conversing with Laurie, whereas he in the beginning said, I'm gonna be the one that kills them. The Tommy guy who rallied all these people, several of the groups got killed. When they finally did confront Michael Myers, like Ring said, it was just a bloodbath, because they beat him to the ground. And then afterward, they just stop. I mean, fucking keep hacking until his legs and arms are chopped off. This is a guy that is known to come back. A guy that is known to not fucking die. And their whole theme, their whole motto was, evil dies tonight. Well, you better make sure to kill it as gruesomely as possible. Otherwise, evil gonna fucking come back, yo. And they don't. After they get him down, they're like, job well done, everybody. And then he gets back up, starts stabbing everybody, slicing everybody up, and what do? They attack one person at a time. Oh, let me get in here with my hockey stick. Oh no, he just gutted me like a fish. Oh man, okay, tag me in, it's my turn. Oh, here I come with my 9-iron. Oh shit, he just slit my throat. Oh, here I come with my gun, and like Ring said, point blank in the face. Michael Myers cuts their hands off, stabs them in the neck, in the throat. Game over. It's like, why not all attack him at once? And if you have a gun, from a reasonable distance, you know? It is kind of dumb.
Fucking writing. That's all it was. It's all this fucking movie ever will be, and I am not fucking impressed in any fucking way.
Now, all of that being said, I will say that I thought to myself, I wondered if it was the point that the movie kind of jumped all over the place, because they wanted the central point of view to be Michael Myers himself, you know, focusing on him returning home and all of his victims. But the problem with that is it doesn't even follow Michael himself. It jumps around from Michael. He goes in and, you know, kills the gay couple. And then it jumps back to Laurie in the hospital. There's that frenzy in the hospital over. I don't even know why they assume that this guy. So there's this escaped mental patient, right? He's balding, he's stumpy, and he's overweight. I mean, think maybe a taller Danny DeVito, and they assume that this motherfucker is the 6'4" or 7 foot tall, however the fuck tall. I know he's tall. Michael Myers. I mean, really? You look at that guy, and you think that's Michael fucking Myers, and then the whole hospital goes nuts, and they just start trampling each other. Literally, there's a riot, and they start like trying to chase him down. He's over here. No, he's over there. I saw him go that way. I saw him go up that floor, trampling each other, throwing equipment. And you see the doctors get involved too. Like, you see fucking doctors are part of the frenzy as well. They corner this poor bastard in a room, and they give him no choice that he jumps out of a window and kills himself. And they're like, it wasn't Michael. And it's like, you know, this Tommy guy kind of whipped everybody into a frenzy, and you know, he never really confronts Michael at all. So it's just, like I said,
it shows him getting kind of killed at least attacked at least.
Yeah.
It doesn't really show exactly how he dies or if he died, but it just shows him like face to face with Michael, a part of that big old hillbilly pitchfork riot.
The mob. Hillbilly pitchfork.
Oh.
Yeah, that is definitely. But yeah, I'll go into that one. Do my bit, but please continue. You were gonna say something else?
No, if S is done, go ahead, Val, because I have more to say than just it was entertaining, but I just want to give everyone else an input. So, like, again, let us continue unless he's done, and then
I'll finish my thought with just this. The movie itself was entertaining. I enjoyed it. I'd probably watch it again for fun. I'd only watch it if I was rewatching like the entire Halloween franchise, because I like to do that sometimes. I like to watch, you know, several movies of a franchise in a row. Entertaining, fun, but all in all, not a good movie. Very many. It lacks credibility from a writing standpoint. It's got several plot holes. The acting isn't great. But again, enjoyable. So if I were going to give this movie a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 6. Just because it's just above, you know, meh, to the point of being, yeah, it's all right. So that's the end of my thoughts.
Okay, so I'm gonna hop right in.
Go ahead.
If you're rating it off of Gorefest, then yes, definitely 9 out of 10. My rating, right off the bat, would have to be 4 out of 10. Only because, yeah. First off, I just want to make it clear that I grew up watching Halloween movies like everybody else. Like, he's one of my favorite killers. I prefer him over Jason. He's just, you know, micromanage is a thing. I was left with a lot of questions. I didn't see the previous year movie, and I feel like the Halloween Kills went off of what that movie was, you know, trying to do. Like, you know, it's a continuation, so I have to go back and watch that movie.
Same.
I was bored with it. Personally, it's like there was no story. It was just a lot of, okay, we're gonna kill Michael, riot, pitchforks, torches, hillbilly craziness. There's so much stuff they could have done. I was just I'm not gonna repeat everything, because a lot of what Ring and S had said is I truly feel good, like Puck, I agree with. Because I honestly thought that they were gonna end this with him dying, and I learned that it's actually a 3-part film. Like, there's gonna be another one after this, so I am hoping they might find a way of actually putting Michael to an end. I could see where he's pretty much like an entity for him, because, you know, of how many times he's been attacked, been shot, been stabbed. You know, like, no human could have gone through everything that Michael went through and survived. It's just not possible. So I do agree that he's some entity. They were reflecting on about how he just wants to go home, and how he always ends up home, and how he relies on his mask. I feel like if they snatched that mask, set it ablaze with that fire, he'd be done. Because I think that house and his mask is what's keeping him going. Going back to the Rob Zombie film, I prefer the Rob Zombie over the Halloween, like, traditional one, because at least there's some form of story. There was really no story for this hack and slash gore you gotta.
You're talking about Halloween Kills versus the Rob Zombie.
Yes.
Okay.
Even going back to the original Halloween, like, I just watched that I think the same day when we went to watch Halloween Kills, and I'm like, why are they fucking standing there? Why, like, when you're being stabbed, you don't just sit next to the person who's stabbing you when you think you killed them. No, bitch, you go down and find help. You don't stay in the same house. You don't.
Hey, Val.
You put yourself in. Yes.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. I just want to ask you something. You're a fan of the Scream franchise, right?
Yes.
Did you notice how the first Scream movie kind of played off of those tropes and made fun of them? How the person in danger always runs up the stairs instead of running somewhere else to safety, and they basically made fun of that. But as the Scream franchise went on, they kind of fell victim to the same exact bullshit, like cornering themselves and, you know, just fucking doing like making the worst possible decisions, even though the original was making fun of that.
Yeah. Yeah. But also, like,
all movies do that. It's crazy.
Okay. Like, if I'm being chased, I'm not gonna be locking myself in a room where I cannot get out. I will fight tooth and nail. Obviously they portrayed, and I'm using air quotes on this, portray them fighting back. But no. Like, anyways, going back to Halloween Kills, like, it was very predictable. I was just really not impressed. I mean, I would watch it again because I still do like the Halloween movies, but I'm just like, there was a reason why I didn't watch the other one, because I wasn't interested. I didn't hear, like, the first one before Halloween Kills came out. Like, when I saw that, I'm like, shit, not another one. I just want them, not the franchise to die, but I just want it to be different.
The rest.
Yeah, just like put to rest or make it different. Not the same old shit. And going back to the whole crowd of, oh, Michael Myers, you know, the boogeyman's here, you know, we're gonna fight and whatever. Hold on, I just lost my thought. Jesus. I lost my thought. Sorry.
Stay on target.
If they knew they knew what he was like, especially Tommy and the little girl from Halloween. Like,
what the fuck kind of dad takes his children with him to hunt a serial killer, right?
Okay, well, no, besides just the fact that, like, if you know how difficult he is to kill, or, you know, this is a real threat, be fucking smart about it. Oh my gosh, like, these people took pills.
I'm gonna go into this dark and spooky house where Michael Myers probably is alone, and I have my kid and her boyfriend with me.
At a certain point, it stops being about how terrifying the fucking dude is and how stupid fucking people are. Yeah. That's it. That's all.
I mean, if they're trying to portray about, like, big crowds with stupid people, like, you know, like when you get the masses together and you don't have your facts right and you get, like, a bunch
mass
of
hysteria,
people,
yeah.
Yeah, they got that. They portrayed that exactly. With the hospital scene, in the middle of the road, trying to attack Michael. First off, why the hell would you take his mask and then still
give it back to him?
Yeah, and then go into a house, stand in the room, then scream when you see him, and then stand there while he's knifing you to death, and then this really just makes me angry. Just thinking about it, it's like a bunch of shit. I mean, I know sometimes.
And I thought I had the worst opinion about it.
I I would not write home about this. Like, if you like the okay, this is, to me, it's like a cheesy movie. Like, it's so bad that it's somewhat good. Yeah, it's a gore fest. You have that down. Like, if the gore and blood is what you're looking for, surprisingly, for a horror, like, Halloween movie, like with the first one, where it was just nothing but, no, I don't say nothing, but where it's like ass and tits in the first one, and then you have the Rob Zombie one too. There was no sex scene in this.
I have a question.
Or ass and tits. I just now realized that. Like, I don't remember. There's a hospital, and I really thought there would be more Jamie Lee Curtis, not Winona Ryder.
Right, Jamie. A lot. She was hardly featured.
Yeah, and I thought she would be more of a badass. Now, then again, she was like stabbed in the gut, so I could see why. And then that movie. It was everywhere.
Val.
There was no solid point, and I did like the different points and like points from different people. I did like that, but it was just like everywhere. And I just Big John and Little John, how they show every fucking killing, right? They show everybody who dies by Michael's hand, whether it you get gouged, stabbed, whatever. You stab Big John in the armpits and gouge out his eyes, but when Stuart goes in the room and he screams no, you cut off to that because we don't want to show what happens to Stuart. And if you're trying to know what I'm talking about, it's bad TVs. Negative Stuart, I love him. No, don't. Anyways,
Val.
You pan off to not see him get stabbed in the throat with the cheese knife, or stabbed in the chest with the kitchen knife. That's what? Is that just too bad to show?
That's too much crossing the line there.
Too much. Fuck out of here with that. Not that I wanted to see him die. So like,
Val.
Yes, sir.
I gotta say, I love the energy. First of all.
I
love the passion.
I ramped up. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. I love it. I love the passion. I love the energy. But I was gonna say, you made me think of something. You said you wanted something original. Have you seen Halloween 4? Of the original. So there was Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, and then Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. With his niece. Have you seen that one?
I've seen bits and pieces. Once I saw that she was like telepathic or something, I was like,
it's been a long time since I saw that one, but I do remember something distinctly. And
she's in the Rob Zombie one as the chief's daughter.
What?
The little girl and.
No, I'm not talking about the Rob Zombie one.
Oh. Well, I'm just saying the little girl who portrayed that was the niece in Halloween 4. She was the sheriff's daughter in Halloween and the Rob Zombie Halloween. She played in both of them.
I didn't know that. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
No. Well, anyway, the ending of that movie ends when they throw Michael Myers into like a mine or something, so they think he's dead. But then his niece, who he had been trying to get to kill, she ends up donning his original clown costume and clown mask, and it is believed that she kills, I think, her own mother or something. And when you hear the horrific screams of murder, and then the little girl comes out and starts playing the Michael Myers theme, and she's holding a bloody pair of scissors donned in the Michael Myers clown suit, and Loomis starts screaming and tries to kill her before the cop, stops him and pulls the gun out of his hand. That would have been an interesting road to take. His niece taking up the mantle and the mask of Michael Myers. I know you said you want something different, something unique instead of Michael Myers over and over.
Maybe they'll do it with his
granddaughter.
Jamie's granddaughter.
Yeah, which would be his
granddaughter. Yeah, well, his second niece, because he killed his original.
Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting if she goes. That's possible too. Maybe she goes mad from the thought of losing her mom.
Yeah, she just lost her mom. She just lost her dad. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
But I just really hope with this next film that it'll be a lot better than the Halloween Kills.
Obs.
But I am done.
No, I'm sorry. Obs, I know you said you had some stuff to say. I'm sorry. I don't mean to eclipse you. Obs? Okay.
I'm here. Sorry, I didn't realize I was on mute. I might have to go soon, but so I'll kind of keep it short and sweet. So it's safe to say no one here saw the previous movie right before this one.
I did not. Give us some perspective.
Okay, so that's kind of a big thing. The story's linear. The events of this movie are immediately from the movie previous. It's not 20 years later. It's not 5 years later. It is minutes after. So everyone's missing a good chunk of plot and story of the granddaughter, her boyfriend, the cop, and why he was found stabbed in the throat. Like, all that is very relevant in the first movie, because in the first movie, or I guess the first of these current 3 movies, Michael Myers is locked up. He's locked up in an insane asylum, and it's to a point where they have him like chained to like this giant concrete block, and these reporters are doing an article on him, and somehow they obtained his mask. And up until then, he was a mute, quiet, dormant inmate. He was there. He didn't do any harm. He didn't kill anyone. He was dormant. But when they came to do the article on him, they brought and showed him the mask, and that's what woke him up. And that's coincidentally at the same time they were transporting him from that asylum to a different asylum, or from jail to prison, whatever the case may be. He was in the wreckage where that's when he broke out on the bus, and that was the other inmate that got away that killed himself at the hospital. So it is pretty relevant of things from there that kind of ties into everything. For this movie, it did kind of go more in backstory for the cop that was in the hospital, with his backstory from the 70s or whatever. That was not in the previous movie. But the movie was entertaining. It's not going for Oscars. It's not going for Academy Awards, Best Actor, or anything like that. It's a hack and slash movie. It's another rendition of Michael Myers and all that good stuff. I enjoyed it. Again, it's just getting more violent. Apparently people were making a big stink about the beginning, because the first 5 minutes, or not even 5 minutes, probably 2 minutes, Michael Myers is killing a bunch of firefighters. People got up in arms about that. They're trying to do a petition to delete that scene from the movie.
Mic on.
Fucking why? I mean, I understand firefighters are heroes and all that, but Michael Myers doesn't give a fuck. You know.
Yeah, well, I guess people probably just saw it as senseless violence against firefighters, or whatever reason to get outraged. But they're petitioning to have that scene omitted or wiped out.
I'm so sick of people fucking just trying to cancel shit. I mean.
Anyways, it's my spotlight.
Okay.
So that happened, but obviously that didn't happen. The scene stayed in. I think that just added more publicity to the movie. They said Michael Myers was going home. He went home, but even then, again, these are common folks. These aren't survivalists, because in the movie previous to this, Jamie Lee Curtis, all this time growing up, she was the estranged grandmother. Because she grew old, basically became a survivalist, a prepper. She stocked up on guns. She made her house impregnable. She was preparing for if and when Michael Myers came to get her. And that's what she kept telling her daughter, is you need to prepare, you need to be a survivalist. You never know what's going to happen. That's what she tried to ingrain into the granddaughter, but the daughter did not let that happen, because she didn't want that to happen to her. Mm-hmm. For this little town, they're common folks. Yes, it's a smeared past with Michael Myers being there, but these people are just they're not killers, they're not murderers, not psychopaths. And yes, they trapped them and they did all that stuff. But again, that's just the movie. That's the way movies rating's gonna be. Everyone's gonna do a one by one and all that dramatic effect. Michael Myers is gonna kill 20 more people, all that good stuff. Funny thing was I didn't see it in the movie, but people are laughing because in one of the scenes where it's showing the mob, there's a woman there with for her choice of weapon, she has an actual iron, a clothes iron. So they've dubbed her the Iron Maiden. So, and that was like the big thing, because yes, for Jamie Lee Curtis, she really took a backseat in this movie. She was pretty much a very irrelevant character in the movie, and there's that whole mob scene that I thought was longer than it should be, where people just went batshit crazy. Even the law was there. It's like, I'm here, like I'm the law, and everyone's like, no, you're not. Like, we're gonna take the law into our own hand. And whatchamacallit? That
Lost his train of thought.
Yeah. So.
I'm not the only one.
With that being said, again, it was mob mentality, and then one key scene when, like, I think the guy killed himself. It was like, look what Michael Myers is doing to us. They're making us into the villain. They're making us into the worst part of humans can be. Because yes, there's a killer on the loose, but at the same time, look what they did. They just went ravaged. And in addition to that, towards the very end, when Michael revitalized himself and killed everyone that tried to kill him, they said he lives off of evil. He's pure evil. They don't say he's a demonic presence, he's possessed, anything like that, but nonetheless, it's like, he's evil. He feeds on it. Whether it's him killing or people trying to kill him, that's his life source. So as long as he has his mask, as long as he can kill people, as long as other people are doing bad things, he's gonna go on forever. And that's my 2 cents. I'm sorry, guys, I gotta go. But yes,
appreciate it. Well, I think that's a good wrap-up point, because we're over an hour, which we'd like to keep these to about an hour. But very good perspectives. We have the perspective of Obbs, who's seen, you know, all the movies. Me and Ring, I guess, who aren't big horror fans. Val, I mean, she's a pretty good...
I really gotta go. So
yeah, no,
bye. Peace out, everyone.
Okay, bye. I thought you had left. Sorry. Bye. Is he gone?
Yes.
I thought he had left. I was just kind of reflecting for the sake of the thing here. Anyway, I think it's a good cutoff point there, right? So basically, mixed thoughts overall on Halloween Kills. I think for the most part, most of us, except for Ring, at least found some enjoyment in it. You know, found something to like about it, even if it was not much. But yeah, very flawed movie. A fun slasher flick, if nothing else. But we appreciate everybody who has tuned in. We recently hit 2,000. It'll happen soon. It'll happen soon.
Dreaming big.
Yeah, it'll happen. It'll be 200, then 2,000, and 2 million. You know, you watch. If you haven't subscribed, do so now. Be part of the movement. We're gonna blow up pretty soon. I know it, and you know it. Be there. Be part of the movement. Come with us. We'll take you along. But anyway, I think we're going to go ahead and call it here. Val, Ring, any final thoughts before I see us out?
Did you see my status in chat?
Your status in chat? What,
yes.
In the Hangouts type deal?
Yeah, in chat.
Let me take a look at that.
Ring notice.
I didn't have fucking chat open right now. Hang on.
In other words, he never looks.
Wow. I'm opening it now. Chill out. Man, I hate how much longer Google Chat takes to load. How do I see what your stat? Oh, settle down, S.
Ring was the only one that noticed that today, which made me happy because I had one on there yesterday, but you didn't see it.
Oh.
So, but yes, I'm done.
Settle down. Anyway.
So you.
We appreciate everybody who has subscribed, everybody who tunes in. Thank you so much. You can catch our podcast now in most places, you know, where you listen to podcasts. We're on Google Podcast, Amazon Podcast, iHeartRadio, Podbean, and I feel like there was another one. We're working on getting on Spotify and other places, but you can catch our podcast in most places. Follow us on Twitch. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We really appreciate it. We are grateful for each and every one of our followers, viewers, subscribers, all of that. Stay tuned for more oddities and entrails as we gear up for the last week of Halloween, because that's the last week of October. That's it. This this is the last week coming up of October, and then bye-bye oddities and entrails until next year. But with that, I was joined here with the hostess, by the hostess with the mostest, Valkyrie Grinder.
That's me.
The God of War Thunder Ringleader.
Yep.
And I, of course, am the one, the only highly rated, armor-plated, imitated, but never duplicated Espionage DB7. Bidding everybody out there a happy Halloween. Take care and settle down. Catch you later.
Bye.